Hey everybody, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Kieran.
And we are here to talk to you today about the Sausalito Ferry. And we were thinking that one solution, maybe to the problems down there, might be a boarding pass system. We want to talk to you about that today. So this highlights, we talked about this before, but this highlights a bit of the problem. And I mean, the pictures say it all, but also the review says it all too, in that they have to wait in line because they don't know when they're going to get on a ferry. They're waiting 3 ferries to get on because they have their bikes and they just want to return back to San Francisco. That's one of the things that's happening down there.
And just to ground people, like, this isn't waiting 3 BART trains that come every few minutes. Like, this could easily be a 3 or 4 hour wait. I've experienced it myself trying to get a bike to the city on a crazy weekend.
Yeah, and as residents, this isn't fun to watch either. So why do they queue? It's not because they love it. You know, they are there because, as we said, they're worried about getting on. Maybe even they maybe just want to even enjoy it more, and get a better seat, right? Because they can get better pictures, or maybe they want to get to the bar and get that drink and that kind of thing. And so being in line, being first in line, is a normal thing, and it happens everywhere we go.
These, your third one about lack of information is a great one, because I noticed people just racing to get on and make sure they get a seat. And these Spalding class ferries that we normally serve, they have a capacity of something like 500 or 600 people. There's plenty.
Exactly. And as commuters, we get to know the system, right? But as a visitor, you're here once, and all you can do is read TripAdvisor to try and get some tips and whatever. And that tip right now is get in line, wait in line, because you could be there all night, and they don't have hotel rooms. So how do we fix this? Well, we were thinking it's been solved, right? We don't need to invent the new wheel. We already have a wheel, and that, let's just use Southwest Airlines as an example on how before they had mass boarding, and they organized it by simply giving you boarding groups, for example, and that's what we think might really be valuable here at the ferry system. There we go. And so let's talk about it. I mean, I think who would benefit by this, right? First of all, the visitors, right? They can park their bike, grab a ticket, and then go and enjoy Sausalito however that they choose to, right? And as they're doing that, who's going to benefit? Mostly the businesses, right? They're going to be able to buy the ice cream cone. They're going to be able to go to the restaurants. They're going to be able to be relaxed to say, I have a seat. I'm in line, and I just need to go there 5 or 10 minutes before the boarding, and I know I'll be getting in, and I won't have to fight and battle for that spot in line. Makes sense, right?
Also, one of the elements around visitors here is that it's a good experience for that trip, but it's also reinforcing that a ferry is a great way to come to Sausalito. It's not taking up parking spaces. It's not creating congestion from cars on the road. So there's a continuing ripple effect with that too.
Yeah, and when I have a bicycle and I need to go to the city, I can't do that on a weekend. I can't. Unless if I've done it. I've been like, I'm a resident here. I got to get to the front of the line, and you just kind of deal with it. But it's like, that's not fun. It shouldn't be that way. I should be able to get and actually use this boarding pass to give myself priority, as other residents should, because this is a resource that we depend on. And yet, no, I'm going to choose to drive into the city instead of taking the ferry. Bad idea. Shouldn't have to do it just because it's a weekend or even a weekday when the ferries are really loaded heavy. So the goals is simply to give a better experience, right? Give a better experience for everybody, the visitors, the residents, to actually give a better experience for the businesses, right? Because those visitors get to spend more money and actually give good ratings on the great ice cream cones that we have and other stuff like that. Also, something that you're not going to hear really from us very much, because we're bike advocates, right? Is the goal here is to have fewer bikes on the ferry. Why would we say that? Well, because honestly, the ferry's not really built well for bikes. And loading them on and off, it takes time. And so until that system improves, and they're not actually designing that in this rebuild, then getting fewer on there is actually an improvement. And it doesn't necessarily take away from the round trip experience that everybody has. And so part of this boarding group could actually could work on that, because now we have a way to communicate with those visitors and help guide their behavior. When they get that boarding pass, we also say, hey, by the way, have you thought about returning your bike on Sausalito Bike Return, for example, that big Mad Max style bike trailer that sits down there.
We need to add some Mad Max people to that bike return.
That's right. Yeah, just when he's hanging on the outside as he's driving down the bridgeway. So and it also improves it for residents. It would make it a much better experience for us walking by, right? Because you wouldn't have to be going through the crowds for hours, right? Maybe 5 minutes there'd be a bit of a crowd, but it's really just one ferry load that would be there, not 3 ferry loads in line that you have to try and fight your way through. And then you're just going to walk through parking lot 1 because, well, you can't actually get to the waterfront, and that's that. So let's take some of the chaos out of the experience. It's been done before in the airlines. Let's do it at the ferry.
Yeah, this is a great one, Aaron. I think it requires a little bit of implementation, but I think we're going to save that topic for next time. But this feels like an easy win for what feels like a very painful experience right now.
That's right. And yeah, we've laid out exactly how I think it could work. And I don't think it's that far off. And I'm a software guy, right? So I love to talk about this stuff. And that'll be our next topic. We'll also link to this presentation in the comments. And if we're always there available at goldengatemobility.org for these videos for your viewing enjoyment.
Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.